Well, it appears as though Mr. Lira is breathing, certainly. Who knows exactly how well he's doing, but at least we've had that question answered. So I actually have a legit question because I've gotten curious. It was one of these things where I saw it, then I looked it up, then I was like, oh, well, whatever, I guess I missed it. Was that Dark MAGA thing organic? I mean, was it like legitimately some people were having a laugh? They were making some memes. They're like, oh yeah, I get it. Yeah, this Dark MAGA. Because it got picked up on by the typists. And then people left of center rather quickly. Now, what I found interesting was this. If anybody saw any of the things that covered it, the way that the piece was written was actually like news. It really was observantia. I was actually kind of shocked. I was like, I'm like, wait a second, this reads really dry. Like I'm hearing somebody read from MDC or something like that, some major publication like Newsweek or something. It's like Dark MAGA has these images and yada yada yada. And so it was interesting because I heard a total leftist pick it up and he immediately waxed, bitch-noggery, with thinking that Trump was an authoritarian. And it's like, you all are either dishonest, stupid, or a bit of both. That's dumb. You're dumb. You all are dumb enough to hurt yourselves. and then that kind of made me think, no, a part of if there's any kind of thing of Dark MAGA, what this is really watching now truly, okay, one of the things about the moderate, charitable Republicans as to kind of, so Biden had said this Republican Party isn't your father's Republican Party, and then he goes on to say it's the MAGA Party, and so and I forget who was Salty was cheering this and dancing around, and so I was like, yeah, and so I was thinking of this in relationship, if that hashtag was real or not, but it obviously is a way of trying to get them to the polls. Do you understand? These people are coming. We didn't eliminate them in mass. We weren't able to incarcerate them in camps. None of our truly kookball, unhappy girl ideas of how authoritarianism works happened. Holy crap. That's not a stingray. Holy crap, I haven't seen one of those in decades. It's a type of sports car that's an extra wider, so it's a race car. It looks like a Stingray, but it's more angled. I think that's an Italian deal, and it's got double dualies. That's how people will know what I'm talking about. Its exhaust is double duals. Okay, and it's got racing tires on the back. It's built for racing tires on the back. I want to say it's a Ferrari, but a way old Ferrari. It's a trip. Anyway, Lamborghini or Ferrari, but an old one. So, and hella ass. I swear. When the sun comes out, sun's out, fun's out. All right, and yeah, taking the guns out. Had to hit the bar. All I could do was twist a few chin-ups and twists, like where you stay there and you twist and do 50, or so. Got plenty of push-ups, but it just, God, the pulls. Getting back into the pulls is always tough. So, and I did a suspension that probably, suspended myself. It was a good 5 to 10 seconds with a slow let down, So I figure now pull some rows as I'm doing stuff around the house, talking to RC on. Because I also do labor work, so it's also the kind of thing of, got to watch how much wear and tear I'm always putting on myself. So how much, the Dark MAGA thing, one of the things I was thinking about is the charitable right tends to be charitable in a way like, do you really want to do that? Like that kind of choice, like, don't do it, don't pick up the gun, do you feel lucky, punk, those kind of things, like, that it's charitable because really that's the whole thing about Charitas as a divine energy. The idea of Charitas, actually, I believe is really what it would be, is that you are actually showing God's mercy because you do not have prudentia or prudence and the wisdom to know what you're doing is bad or is going to do something bad to you and its results. That's why Charitas, charity, is a divine energy, because the idea is that it's supposed to motivate the sharing of prudentia, of prudence, so that you will not fall into error, into sin. And that's the idea with Charitas, with charity, with originally, is that you're giving something to somebody that will enable them to not fall into the natural way of the world, which is bad, because the world is full of things that want to, that survive off of you at some point. Whether, even the Tibetan Buddhists had this, where like there was this one famous story in Tibetan Buddhism of somebody trying to describe the level of suffering of a fish. And the monks are sitting there and they're looking at the water and they're like, I don't really understand what you mean by the suffering of this fish. So then supposedly the guru makes all the water vanish, and in the bottom of the lake is a giant fish, so big it could no longer move. And all the other fish on the lake lived on that fish. And there's a lot of Tibetan Buddhist stories like that it's like, that, that's, man, they must be fascinating parents. I wonder about one of my friends, like what his parenting style is like, because of just stories like that, like the hells. If at some point I should read through the stories of the various hells, again, because I know I did some of them once on this channel, like many, many years ago, but it's, wow. It's just people who are Catholics think like their parents were tough, we probably have no idea. But anyway, this idea of Charitas and this is so that you pass on wisdom so that so that doom doesn't befall them. And once people don't have a reason to do that, you see, at first I didn't think anything of divine energies and like why did people care about stuff like that? But then I realized, okay, most of this stuff goes back before the Christian tradition anyway. This is actually something from like from the ancient times of philosophy. And that they just figured out a way that it applied in the model of the Hebrew Messiah as it was coming out of the Syrian linguistic world. And so in thinking about this, I started to think about how charity is also, it's like good sportsmanship. It's like the GF in chat when you blow somebody up at a gate. You blow them up at Jita 44 and you're like GF, and so something I started thinking about was with charity and politics. One of the things maybe it actually is touching on that it really does help with, in one of the only places where we see it practically, is this divine energy. Because note, everybody has underestimated the right across the Eurosphere and it's cost them. So that's not charity. That's not charitable. They underestimated them. They said, these people have no idea what they're doing, what they're saying, what they're thinking. And the big one, to be charitable about the level of knowledge your opponent has. That is the thing that I've really seen, that there's no way around. That people have totally underestimated that one. And that's a big one. And it's funny because of all of the stuff that's been called conspiracy theory. Those of us who really know, who've studied, who was Adenauer forming the EU with, stuff like that. Now that means something. Now all of that stuff from our crazy uncle about, no, they didn't hang in Nuremberg and then they made the EU, and you're like, what? You're a nut, uncle. But now it matters. Now it so matters that we knew that. And that's costing the left of the Eurosphere wide, to the benefit of the right. And that lack of charity is something I've been thinking about, like that. No, God waits, and you get yours. You weren't charitable. You underestimated your opponent. And so that's one of the things, is that then in extending charity, one of the things is you're taking on one of the divine energies, and it starts, and then you have to use then prudentia. And at some point, hopefully, this corrects the errant way. And yeah. So yeah. So in one way, I've been just, because I'm not convinced the whole hashtag Dark MAGA thing was really organic. I don't think it's organic. It's just the people who covered it, it doesn't come across as organic. So that's why I'm like, okay, but I like that it filled their minds. And the thing is, now they have to rely on fear. There we go. Now, there we go. Once you deny the divine energies, you're left with the pit. And in the pit, it's fear. Endless depths of gloom and fear. And that's all they can do. All they can do is then try to say it'll be gloomy. There is that which you should fear. There will never be anything wonderful again. That is what they must make everyone think. And this is easiest to do to women, especially liberal women, because liberal women are the most likely to suffer many parts of their lives with depression, fanciful ideas, kind of kooky, fanciful ideas, make rash decisions that ruin their lives, they're more likely to end up in debt than, women who are more conservative or end up marry in haste, repent at leisure, so yeah. So they have, or that's the thing I'm thinking about. Was this actually then just a way of a test balloon for capturing like your audience? They wanted to see who was their audience for something like that. That was the other part, was like maybe what they were looking for is to see who would comment on it in total fear and hysteria, and then be like, oh my gosh, they're coming for us, kind of thing in the comments. And yeah, and that's a way that they could then, focus on those accounts, for scare stories and stuff about how all the little children, who don't know what they are going to be encamped by, glowing eyes Trump, and the Proud Boys will be guarding the camps, and stuff. Who knows what the fuck these people think, but or they're inventing. Really, that's the thing, is feeling and then inventing in their fantasies. Well, there we go. I did my little constitutional for the day. I got to get in touch with Arceon. Got to get laundry done. Tidy up the room. Do a bit of studying. And so yeah, there's always things to do on the day off. Wearing my super cool Tree of Liberty shirt. I love this thing. See, boom. You can find these on Amazon.com. You put in Gadsden flag and these shirts pop up. I think they're the coolest. I think they're the ones that are the coolest. They have the tree on the back that has the appeal to heaven. So you have like this bit right across the shoulders. Oh yeah, shoulders like boulders, bro. And also I gotta start hitting the weights again. There's just no way around it. I was thinking about some of the stuff that I used to do, like, with regularity. I'm like, holy crap, 50 pounds. Like over and over and over again. Like, it was just energy. I think about that, like you have no idea how little energy you end up having at a certain age. I mean, it's lethargy. It really is. Once you get moving, it's a different kind of thing. But holy crap, like, you just, at a certain point, you're like, you just don't have the kind of, like, you just turn the key and it goes for years and years and years. And then suddenly you're like 40 something and you're like, ooh, dang. The engine's not warming up this morning very fast, it's, you're a 82 Testarossa, it's like, I'm one of the 1970s models, like an El Camino. The motor just doesn't start the same way anymore. And it blows smoke out. Oh man, I'm old. No, but so it really, for my age, I'm not doing too bad actually. I was thinking about the gray hair, not too bad yet. Oh, the girls are partying. Oh, that's fun. So cute. All the cute girls partying. So, all right. Time for me to do things later. Oh, god damn it. Okay.